Welcome to the Good Life. Good morning, Pacific Northwest. Good morning, the UK. Good morning, Mexico City. I love hearing from all of you. Thank you so much for your emails and your instant messages. And I know I'm excited too for today's guest. Benny, good morning.
Hi there, and Happy New Year to you and to all of us
Happy
here.
New Year and
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sweetheart. And what's the weather? Is it snowing in Seattle?
Not in the lowlands here. It's coming very shortly today, maybe mixed by the end of the day, and then we're getting 10 to 15 up in the mountains, supposedly. Inches.
Wow.
Not feet, inches, people. It's not that much, but it's enough.
Oh,
it's enough.
Okay, it's enough. Wow. Yay.
I know.
Well, happy New Year's and all that good stuff again. And of course, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I remember that because you and my middle daughter have a January birthday.
We're very close.
Yeah. Yes. Morgan just celebrated her birthday as well.
Oh, well, my best back to her.
Thank you very much. Okay, so everybody, I'm really excited. And Benny, thank you so much for getting all this to happen. We've got Michele Blood today. And, you know, when I received her PR sheet and then I started doing my research, there was some really beautiful things that she was saying. I mean, there's tons of beautiful things, and her story is absolutely beautiful, and she walks her talk. You guys have heard me talk about authenticity, and that's a really deep anchoring word for me. What truly is authentic and genuine to you, for you, not based on somebody else's ideas or ideals of you or past circumstances. It's you really figuring out what's genuine and authentic for you. And that really stuck with me with multiple things that Michele's doing. But we're going to bring her on. Of course, I'm going to do the formal bio. And then we're going to get to know her. As you all know, I know that you guys want to jump in and hear about the guest, not so much about her bio and me telling. So I'm going to jump in and introduce Michele. Michele Blood. Michele Blood is a successful, multi-talented lady. Michele was a successful songwriter and rock singer in Australia. And after a near-fatal car accident while in the hospital with many serious injuries, she created positive affirmation songs, which not only healed her body, but also took her to worldwide success. These affirmation songs affect the left and right hemisphere of the brain. This is the nerdy, juicy stuff that I absolutely love. Lyrics, the left hemisphere, the melody, and the music, the right hemisphere. So the new positive messages go straight to the subconscious mind. You guys know I talk about unconscious and subconscious programming. This is super juicy stuff. This is why millions of people worldwide have downloaded her Affirmation Power songs. In fact, we're going to hear some of those today. I'm super excited. These songs cover healing, success, money, joy, confidence, and they uplift the person immediately. In addition to creating magnet to success, products and seminars worldwide, her public mystical success events have been held in over 26 countries. Michele has co-written and created over 80 books, music CDs, audio programs, TV shows, and videos on positive thought, mind transformation, and meditation. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome.
Thank you, Sue.
You're so welcome. Of course, you know, like we talked, the formal bio, and it's beautiful. Let's get to know you. I know your story started, well, of course, at birth, but then you had that car accident that kind of propelled a massive shift, a massive paradigm shift, energy shift, right?
Yes, yeah, that's what happened. It was. I've been on TV since I was 5 years of age. So I've been doing this my entire life. So my life was already great. We worked so hard, though. If you have ever been to Australia, you know how big it is. And there's not many people that live there. So when you travel, you have to travel for a long way to get in between cities. And there's not gas stations. You have to bring your own petrol with you. I mean, it's incredible.
Wow.
Anyway, I was at one stage we toured 7 years nonstop, and we worked with so many great over international bands and videos and all the stuff that we did. So I'd worked so hard to get to where we were. We were with Time Warner Records, and we were just about to be introduced into Europe when I had this accident. I was in the truck, which had all the musical equipment. We were going from Brisbane to Sydney, which is about 14-hour drive, maybe 16 hours in a truck. And the truck driver fell asleep at the wheel. And as the passenger, all the musical equipment went into me. And, you know, it was touch and go for about a month, all these long operations. I was in the hospital for months and months and months. But it's really interesting because I loved my life. I worked so hard. And, you know, if you're a singer, it's not like what people say. If you're a singer and you're singing every night of the week, you're the manager of the band, songwriter, you got to get all the guys making sure they're on time. And it's a huge amount of work.
Logistics, everything. Yes.
Oh, everything. Because like we had to hire all our own, you know, equipment. And when you're doing gigs to 4,000 to 6,000 people, that's a lot of double four-way speakers. It's a huge amount of stuff. Anyway, so, but I still loved it. I wouldn't have it any other way. And, you know, I couldn't even speak during the day because of the fact that I had to sing so many hours every night. So I even had, because we didn't have cell phones back then, so I even had, you know, a tapping with my agent. They'd know if it was me.
Just to save your voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I had that accident, that would look like the worst possible thing that could ever happen to someone like me. And it ended up being the very, very best thing that ever happened in my life. So there are no accidents.
Right. And let's have that conversation, because there's so many people that are crossing the bridge. I call it crossing the bridge of initiation, you know, crossing that bridge where they have an opportunity, right? And you can go one way or the other, right? And the conversation that you have with yourself, and that's exactly what you did, right? You're like, well, I'm in the hospital bed.
I was a miserable patient. Honestly, I was terrible.
From traveling all that and having your own and being in your own, I would be there with you.
Because, you know, I was told the limitations if I did survive, what would happen.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't imagine. I've been on stage since I was 5. I couldn't imagine not being able to do all my crazy antics on stage, jumping on speakers, cartwheels into the drum kit. I mean, I was a pretty exciting entertainer. Nice. And so I was extremely depressed. But the worst thing is, it's not so much the depression. People say, oh, you know, emotional anxiety is worse sometimes than physical pain. No. When you're in that much physical pain, it's torture. I mean, I used to pass out every few minutes just because the pain was so bad. So I say to people, okay, you think you're in emotional pain, you can still get over that. If you can get over huge physical pain, all the women that have had babies know what I'm talking about. But it's even, can you imagine having a baby over and over again?
No.
And I was in traction for weeks and weeks, and that is just incredibly painful. But anyway, so how did all this change happen? I'll tell you how, Sue. Just it's a long story, but I'm going to do it really short and sweet.
Okay.
Like myself, short and sweet.
Oh, we got a fiery one. I love this. Yes.
People were sending me cassettes, and for the younger people, just Google what a cassette is. And audio books. And I always had a little tape recorder with a blank tape, because whenever I had a song idea, I would have to sing it onto a tape, because otherwise the short-term memory would spit it out. And Mick Jagger is the one who helped me with that, actually.
Nice. Thank you, Mick.
Yeah. Because that's what he always did. You know, he said he wouldn't have, Satisfaction wouldn't be a song if he went back to sleep and didn't sing it into the cassette player. So they put on a book by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Now, I had nothing to do with motivational stuff and all that sort of thing. It just wasn't in my world pool. I was in the rock pool. That was it. And so when they put this book on, I was like, oh, this is sort of interesting. I couldn't do anything else. And I'm lying on a flat steel bed with no mattress or anything because I'm in traction. Anyway, the thing about this book was I didn't care about the millionaires in the 1920s in America, the men. Who cares? I'm a female Australian rock singer. But what changed my life was Napoleon Hill, the little boy, was born 100% deaf. And Napoleon Hill would go into his little infant son's room every night and go, you can hear perfectly, and just all these affirmations, this positive auto-suggestion. And you know what I mean, Sue, when you hear something you've never heard before, but in the marrow of your bones, you know you're listening to truth.
Oh, in a hot second. Yes.
Yes.
I got tingles. I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
So that's what happened to me. I was like, oh my God, I have willed. My entire life has been willpower. If I wanted that drummer in my band that was in another band, I'd get it. I mean, I could just make things happen. And I was like, well, if I could do that all my life with my willpower, why can't I walk again properly, dance, have high shoes on again? I'm not going to listen to any of that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do an affirmation. So I did an affirmation. Napoleon Hill said it has to be positive, stated as if it's already happened.
Yes.
And so I said, okay, I am healed. I wasn't healed. I know I am. I certainly didn't know I was. I love myself. I am my friend. I did not love myself. So I thought, oh, I've got the perfect affirmation. Yummy. I am healed. I know I am. I love myself. I am my friend. And I started repeating it over and over again. However, the doubting mind, Sue, kept spitting it out.
Oh,
You're in the hospital, you're looking at your surroundings.
your environment, yes.
Yeah, and the physical pain. And I said, look, this obviously doesn't work. I can't emotionalize it. And then about a week later, epiphany, you're a singer-songwriter. You've even been paid money to write jingles for advertising agencies. Advertising agencies actually spend billions, not millions, billions a year on jingles. Because once you've got that jingle in your head and it goes straight into your subconscious mind, you've got Toyota, or something, even if you never drove a car, for the rest of your life. So I said, okay, I'm going to sing. Actually, I asked people to go out and find positive affirmation songs. There wasn't any such thing back in the 80s. Except maybe I Feel Good and I Knew That I Would by James Brown. That is the best affirmation song.
And disco.
Ever.
Disco. Yes, that is too.
Yeah. So, Casey and the Sunshine Band, etc.
Yeah.
But I wanted like I am healed type of thing.
Yes.
And there was meditation music and stuff, but there wasn't anything that I wanted. So I just started singing onto my little cassette player. I am healed, I know I am. I love myself, I am my friend. Over and over and over again. And to make a long story short, the bottom line is that one song that I sang for 60 minutes and would just keep listening to it over and over again, I was healed. I became healed. The doctors were amazed. My attitude changed. Everything. Because my doubting mind could not spit it out because it's a song. It goes straight into your subconscious mind. And that is how Affirmation Power songs never meant to do them for the public, ever. Because I thought that
Isn't that funny how Source just kind of throws those out?
Yeah. And I ended up writing a ton more with my keyboard player, 𝗟𝗢𝗥𝗡. But we did them just for ourselves. Just for our own consciousness. Our other normal rock songs that we wrote, we just kept doing them. But then in Australia, the media found out about my healing. And so they started interviewing me. And because of that sort of publicity, then these promoters were coming to me and saying, oh, look, we've got a great tour happening with Deepak Chopra and Wayne Dyer and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, who in the hell are they? We'd like you to sing. And I said, well, my band, aren't going to do that. And, oh, no, not your band, just you. You've got you've recorded your affirmation songs. Can't you just have it with the backing music and you just sing along. And I said, well, that doesn't seem very professional. And they said, no, really. It's just during the day, we're traveling around Australia, just take about 8 days and we'll give you $5,000 a gig and you can sell your CDs at the back of the room. And I said, sell what? And they said, your affirmation songs. And I said, oh, that's not for the public. And they said, oh, we want it for the public. So I couldn't say no. And my band were cool because, of course, that's in Australia, no matter how well known you are, if you haven't had your records a hit in Europe or America, you're broke. You're always broke. So $5,000 a gig, just me, I was super amazed. And the band were like, great, because we need a new drum kit, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and I replicated 500 CDs. And I thought, oh, my God, that's way too many. And I just picked 10 great affirmation songs that I'd already recorded just for me. But they were still really good songs. Anyway, and by the lunch break, they were all sold out for the first gig. We were in Adelaide, South Australia. And, I mean, I'd never heard these guys talk. I didn't know who they were. I got to know them on the tour. They just kept saying, we love what you do. This is so entertaining for the audience. And Bob Proctor, who I ended up doing a tour of Australia with about a month later, just said, this is it. This is it. You are going to go with me everywhere. My wife and I want you to travel with us, do all the seminars. We'll pay you this much money. I want to write songs with you. This is unbelievable. Putting entertainment. You can't get rid of those songs out of your head. So I ended up working with Bob 7 years straight. And I ended up running his business from Kuala Lumpur. I ended up having hit records all over Asia. It was just incredible. Our biggest audience was 50,000 people. It was insane, insane what was happening. And so that's how that happened.
just that one little thing. I mean, come on. But let's go to that conversation about the conscious and subconscious and how powerful. And of course, you teach what you most need to learn and or how to heal yourself, right? You go into that arena in your head, your environment, and internally, externally, and you're like, I am not going to be that limitation. I've got to create something. And I love that when you sang the song, that really was energetically the vibration and the resonance, not only for yourself and you healed yourself, but then the audience, of course, because we need that. They were so hungry. There and now is what I was trying to say.
Well,
but I love this. Go ahead.
Sorry. When you add entertainment, people love songs. They don't have to sing along. You just have to listen for the songs to go into your subconscious mind. But I love the fact I end up getting musicians up on stage and doing World Trade Center gigs and just finding all these new people, and they loved it. And Muslim countries, didn't matter where I went. And we'd have the lyrics up on, and I started doing them in many different languages. We put the lyrics up on a big, huge screen. And I'd get everyone, I'd get people out of the audience to come up and dance and sing their song and then I just went deeper and deeper into it, visualization stuff and
yes,
then deep mysticism stuff. Because what happens is this is a really cool analogy.
Yeah,
we have, whether you believe it or not, I've put so many scientific things from Johns Hopkins, Berkeley, you name it, about music and affirmations and the studies that they've done, the neuroscientists on the brain and how things work. Because back when I was teaching this, people didn't understand what it was. No. Bob Proctor and I did this program that we called New Paradigms. We made it into an audio program and a book and everything. And even best-selling authors who knew us, we were in Singapore one day, and they said, you can't call your product New Paradigms. No one will know what it is. You've got to put a subtitle or something. And Bob said, they won't know what it is, but everyone will know what it is after they hear our New Paradigms. So even Affirmation Power, what I called everything, people didn't know what affirmations were. I didn't either when I was in that hospital bed. So it was back in the 80s, it was still pretty new. You know,
Oh, I know. I know.
you had Louise
Absolutely.
Hay and,
Oh,
you know, 𝗟𝗘𝗏𝗏 and another couple of different authors, and you had the blokes. It was funny
yep.
because here I am touring all over the Australia with all the boys, and then I'm touring all over the world with the boys, but different boys.
Yeah.
Not much different.
Not much different. No, not at all. So just let's educate the audience, because
Yeah.
we talk a lot of our words we're using is mysticism, affirmations, power of thought, conscious, unconscious. Let's wrap that in a pretty scientific bow so they can really chew on it and understand what we're talking about. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the subconscious mind is very interesting. The Buddha said 2,500 years ago, we are what we think. All that we are arises from our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. So even though there's 8 billion people on the planet, it's like 8 billion different world planes, because everyone is creating their own version of their world through, and most people are living their life sleepwalking. They don't understand what they can do. There are no limitations for anybody. However,
right there, hang on, right there is super important, because you're talking about the normal population. They are so unconscious. They are sleepwalking. They are not intentional with their language, their words, their movement, their life. And I hear you saying, and I'm saying, you have permission. Hello, you don't have to do that, right? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to slip into something more comfortable like a coma.
No.
So when we are going through any emotional problems, money problems, whatever it is, whatever limitations you're going through, that can be healed and changed by your attitude changing. However, it's not just attitude, it's the frequency. It's been proven now. It's not woo-woo talk or back in Woodstock or anything like that.
No.
It has been proven now that we have a frequency. They did a huge scientific study and put it in the New York Times a few months ago. And even though all the enlightened masters and women have talked about how we are not real, this is just vibrating frequency, of a speed of vibration that you can hear. And now they've discovered that we are a hologram. We are not real. This is like scientists have studied. The black hole isn't a real black hole. What this all is just vibrating energy. And when they've gone down to the smallest molecular structure beyond the molecules, there was just light. They know this now.
Yep.
And so when we keep creating the same thing over and over again, Groundhog Day, and it makes people feel a little crazy, particularly when you really, really got your bootstraps up and you've decided, okay, I'm going to change my life. That's it. And you're reading the books and you're listening to stuff, and then it's like things are staying the same. So you are allowing your environment, your circumstances to dictate what's going to happen tomorrow, instead of using this God-given potential. And what happens is, the reason things aren't changing is your frequency hasn't changed. Yes. See, when you're vibrating at a certain frequency, you're going to attract the same sort of frequency. And so if that's a negative frequency, and I don't mean negative, if it's a lower oscillation, well, then you're going to, you know, find people that will commiserate and say negative stuff and complain. But when your frequency gets faster, that speed of vibration where you can feel the hum in yourself, you hear it, you feel it, well, then you are attracting into your experience the same sort of frequency. And when it's a fast frequency, that is where you have good fortune, you have beauty, you see beauty where other people don't see it, within yourself and other people. You don't judge anymore. You bear witness to life without being a complainer or a judger. And that is the big secret, is changing that frequency. And that is why I adore what I do, because everybody's frequency changes when they listen to great music, even if it's not an affirmation music, you know.
Well, even, you know, you have that visceral memory in your body from junior high dance, and somebody didn't dance with you and you're like, ooh, I don't want to hear that. Or you'll go to another affirmation song, like your money affirmation song, and I'm like, oh yeah, yes, 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 you know?
Yeah, I mean,
The
it's just,
frequency totally changes.
yeah, but if you're listening to it over and over again, it changes your frequency, it changes your thinking, and
The
before
neural
you know it,
pathways, right?
yes, because they ignite. There's it's like little lightning bolts, because I've been able to go into my consciousness and see it when it happens. The brain, God doesn't make mistakes. We don't have all of this mass to not be used. As you go into deeper meditation and stillness in your mind and positivity and exercising the body every day, that is the most positive, vital thing you can do, because your body is filled with energy. And when you are feeling lethargic, it's because you're not exercising. You've got to exercise. I don't care if you just dance around, stretch your body, do Pilates, do Monty Python's Silly Walk.
Oh, we have some Monty Python fans listening. They're going to have a kick out of that.
Oh, when I first came to America, the way I'd know if I was really going to get along with someone is if they loved The Life of Brian.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, with that, with The Life of Brian, we are going to take a quick radio commercial break. If you would like to join us on YouTube, please do so. Just go to YouTube and type in 1150 KKNW. And we've got about 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
See me, feel me, touch me, heal me. See me, feel me, touch me.
We're chatting. Go ahead. Now we're live on YouTube. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, the See Me, Feel Me, that's the only one that's not an original. And the reason why I wanted to record that was when I saw The Who in the Woodstock movie when I was a kid, I was blown away by it, because they just sang the See Me, Feel Me part. I didn't know it was a whole other song called We're Not Going to Take It from a movie called Tommy. I didn't know that at the time. And it touched me so much. I know I would play it, that record, that track from The Who over and over again, and it would make my heart glow. And I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So eventually, I did see the movie Tommy. I know I was actually offered the role of the Anne Margaret part in Australia in the.
Oh, for heaven's sakes! Yeah,
but I didn't do it. But anyway, so it just touched my heart. So I did my own version of it. And Pete Townsend actually sent me a letter and said he loved my version of it.
Oh,
Because, see me, feel me, touch me, heal me. And that's, that's what it's all about. It's like you're speaking to your higher self, your divine wisdom. And it's like that, just the emotion. Roger Daltrey is just an incredible singer. And, Pete Townsend's the most amazing songwriter. So anyway, that's where that came from.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I want to go back. When we go back in, obviously we're noodling here on YouTube. And for those of you who are joining us, welcome. If you want to join us on the radio station, you can do that as well. But I know we have a lot of international listeners and viewers. So thank you for joining us. And of course, remember to go after the show podcast and give us, I call it a 6-star, 10-star rating, because why not? 5-star, what's that? Oh, I love this. So when we go back, there's so much we could talk about. Your new video book, for those of you that are tuning in, she's got a new video book, she being Michele Blood, new video book. It's the actual first ever. Is that correct? Like an actual video, but I went on and it's super cool. Yeah. And the magic of affirmations, the power, and songs for success. Now, what I just did is a free gift. Now, for those of you, this is called a teaser. I'm not going to give you the link until the end of the show. So ninner.
Ready to come back in, ladies?
Freebies.
Yes. All right, here we go.
All right, stand by.
I am a magnet to money. Money loves me.
money loves me. Yeah. And sorry, I am not a singer. I'm going to leave that up to you.
Oh, everyone's a singer.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Yes. All right. We are back. We're live. Pacific Northwest, thank you so much. International, thank you. Of course, we have Michele here. We have been talking about her story the first top of the hour, the importance of frequency, affirmations, and really feeling that in, because you feel those songs that you're just, I know, like those goosebumps, or that you just feel it in your heart. You just like, yes. And a lot of your songs are like that. And it's got that fun little jingle, like the money song that we were just, and I was listening to that and I'm like, yeah, oh yeah. And now it's going to be a jingle, but what it does is raises my frequency and it keeps me in that state, right? And I love this. I love what you've done and created. So audience, bear with me here. I want to just read over just a couple things here. And also, Michele is giving an incredible gift. I'm going to give you that link at the end of the show. So make sure that you keep tuning in and you hear this free gift. And it's literally a chapter from her new video book, a first ever video book. And the ebook, The Magic of Affirmations. And it's Affirmation Power, correct? And then songs for success. So at the top of the hour, I talked again about the words genuinely and authentically. And for me, those are really deep buzzwords, and it's important for me. You talk about the divine mind. I'd like you to define that. And I want to talk about what your definition of a mystic is, because you talk about that in chapter 3 in your book as well. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. If you can think of this as not religion, don't think of it as religion.
Thank you. Yeah.
But we do have a higher self. As
Yep.
I was saying earlier, scientists, the New York Times did a great story. We are actual holograms. I know it's impossible to really understand that, but we think everything's solid, but it's just vibrating light frequency. And we create what we see. It's this beautiful feeling. As your frequency becomes faster, that vibration, that hum, you begin to have what I call heart glow. And that is your heart chakra is starting to be just slightly activated. It's not fully activated yet, but you feel this love for life and gratitude. And you look at people and you just want to hug them. And it's crazy love.
Yeah. And it's love for nature. It's love for the simplicities, right?
It's love.
Because it's beautiful. Yeah. It's just
for
love.
all.
Yep.
Yeah, for all. And we no longer judge. And what happens then is you, at a very deep level, you want to join with that love. It's just like when people talk about romantic love, they're in love with love, right? But when it's this sort of love and it's no person, place, or thing, it's just this feeling, that is when you want to have union with your divine spirit. So a mystic is always searching to have union, to be together with that, to understand that love is what they are and who they are and the power that created everything. And so mysticism is a beautiful study because you're studying beauty. You're studying the true you. And once you start discovering that, well, what happens? That's why it's called self-discovery. Once you start discovering that and feeling it, gifts that you didn't even know that you had, that have been laying dormant in your DNA, the soul, start to come alive. And all of a sudden you're like, I can speak Spanish. I can write a book. I can tap dance. Seriously. I can write a song. And it's like, it's just, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Bedazzled.
Yes. It's been a while.
Yeah, but it's like that. He's like, he has a wish and then he's like, I can speak Spanish.
Yes.
But anyway, things that come through to me with my students that I have no idea how to do. I left school when I was 15. I left home when I was 15. So I brought myself up.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to me, the things that come through to me that I do not know how to do. But I know that that divine mysticism, that union I have, allows me to see it, to bear witness. It's
Now
not
you use the word union versus communication. I think that that's fascinating too, right? Because
Well,
it's
it
a
is.
union.
It's a union. It's
Yeah.
not two. It's not even a union. It's just one. You've become one with your higher self.
Integrated.
You feel it. It's always been there. But this diamond that I was showing you earlier, your higher self, as an analogy, it becomes blocked with emotional issues over your lifetime and from past lifetimes. It becomes blocked. And so you're wondering why you can't get something happening, or why you can't do your exercise program every day. What is the lethargic? Why am I like this? Because this is blocked. So as your frequency becomes faster frequency, it starts
Pop, pop, pop.
popping them off. And all of a sudden you're like, I do know how to do that. I am going to be an affiliate with all these people that I don't have to be the writer. I don't have to be the songwriter. I'm just going to create something. I'm going to share with people what I love, and I'm going to make money doing it. There's so many different ways that people can make money. You've got to have multiple streams of income to really be wealthy, money while you're sleeping. And,
yes, let the money work for you. Yes.
And because of this day and age, especially since the lockdown, so many great technologies and Zoom meetings and everything that we're doing, you know, all these things that happen. I mean, I used to have to travel all over the world every year, sometimes just do a TV show in Italy or something. And it's like, now I'm not going to Italy, just Zoom me.
Yeah.
Because I got a little stage, I got a whole studio, you know, so I can still sing.
Beautiful.
I can still sing and perform and from home. But I do love having a live audience, of course. But the technologies these days, you can write a book, you can self-publish, you can get it on Amazon and everywhere. There's nothing you can't do. One of my students is an Albanian guy, and he was just selling beds. And then because of we mastermind tons of things. We have huge Zooms. I got a huge screen in front of me, and all the students, which are my family, I call them my soul family. But anyway, and we mastermind ideas. What can you do next? And so he started this amazing website that have got these beautiful Italian beds and designer beds for studio apartments and everything that he designed. And he's got all these companies and different people that are affiliates that get 10% by just saying to a hotel, hey, you can get these amazing Italian beds for this and that. I mean, he was just a salesman before.
I love it.
Now he's wealthy within a year, you know.
And just from having communion or union, not communion, union.
Yeah. From studying.
Having
light transmissions from me, from learning about meditation, what it really is, and how to quieten the mind. Scientists have been meditating for years. They go into a dark room and they just write down what is the answer to this question, whether it's an equation or something they want to invent. And they sit there. They've been doing this for hundreds of years in the dark until the answer comes, and then they just write it down.
Yes.
That's meditation. Just shut up.
Just shut everything down. I know. Audience, if you're joining us now, we're talking to Michele Blood. I'm going to give you a free link at the end. We've been covering a lot. We talked about mystic. We talked about the conscious, subconscious, how frequency affects the body, the little cells, everything. I'm a true believer. I meditate. Absolutely. Yes, yes, and yes. There's a lot of course, we're in the first of the year. There's a lot of reinventing. And I know for myself and from people that I've spoken to, reinventing is by the hour. You know, I mean, you can reinvent and re-understand yourself and your body. Talk to us about I'm kind of jumping around here because I wanted to talk about because you talk about 6 methods, how to uplift yourself. And I think this is a prime time in not only the calendar year, but in all times for that reinventing and those affirmations that we were talking about at the top of the hour. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. 6 methods to uplift.
there's millions of methods to uplift, but there's so many things that you can do. And I can't remember everything I wrote in that chapter yet.
No, you talked about number one, and I just took some quick notes. The reinvent, and that's reinventing through visualization. Again, we kind of talked about that at the top of the hour, but also adding the affirmations with the music and the frequency is what I really want to nail in here, because it's so important that the audience understands that, right?
Well, this is why I was, as I was saying, you get like a download from your higher self about what to do next. And I'd written the book, Manifestation Through the Power of Mysticism. I'd written it. And then I was like, I want to do the audio book. And then I was like, oh my gosh, imagine if it came with visuals. So I got my friend Holly Fowler, who's a student, but now she's creating apps with me and doing all this amazing stuff. Young woman, she's amazing. And this is what happens. You attract all the right people.
Yes.
And so we put all these amazing visuals because we think in pictures. So if you do a visual and then you've got me speaking the book and then you've got the transcription as well. And so it just hits you. You've got all of this information. The doubting mind has no chance to stop any positivity. So it goes straight in 300 times faster than any other method. And then at the end of each chapter, there's a music video. Some of them I'm singing in. I'm singing in all of them. Some of them I'm actually performing, and some of them it's just visuals of what I'm singing about. So like the Magnet to Money song, we've got like huge visuals of all these different
this money. Yes, I know.
Money and coins and diamonds and stuff. And for the I Am Healed song, we've got beautiful visions of people meditating and sunrises and water flowing and so that everything, it just hits you. Thomas Miller, who has Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast, which is huge internationally. When he first saw it, it blew him away so much. He decided to create a website and just market it. He said, that's what I want to do. We've got to do a book. I want to do a video book with you, Michele. I went, okay. But it took like a year to finish it. It was a lot of work because I was making sure that every single picture, a lot of the images I had to pay for, but I made sure that every single image was fun, was something that would make you smile. I mean, dogs in the sand with their sunglasses on, and it's like
my favorite thing, and the audience knows this. If my frequency goes low, obviously I've got your songs too, and for years I would go on YouTube. Well, when YouTube was up, but I would go and find puppies and babies. That just barrel heart laugh, and the puppies. It just opens my heart and makes me smile. It's just beautiful. And again, it's creating that frequency, right?
Yeah, we've got babies laughing and it's just so beautiful, the video book. I'm going to the next video book I'm about to do is called Self-Esteem Songs for Kids, which is an album I did for children, for babies.
Yes.
And going to put all the images up for the little kids to watch.
I love that.
Yeah, because with that album, I do all the voiceovers for all these little baby animals who talk about where they're from in the world, like the panda and what they eat and why they're endangered. And then I sing the song I wrote for the kids, like I love my family, I hug them and kiss them. And then I do another voiceover of the baby animal singing along with me.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really cute.
So how profound would that be to raise children in that environment? Make it a prerequisite somehow,
Yeah, the songs are just all, so positive for the little kids.
Also I say double-edged sword, but if you're playing it for the kids, guess the adult is hearing it too. So it's gonna be a win-win. And I love a win-win. Come on.
Had so many people say that that's their favorite album that I've done.
Oh, that's beautiful. You talk about, and thank you, Michele, you talk about in chapter 8, I think, Pole of Prosperity. Can we have a quick conversation about that?
Yeah. Yes, please.
You're juicy right there.
Yeah. Yummy, yum, yum, yum. Okay. So we were talking about frequency and vibration. And what people don't understand is they think that negativity and positivity or lack or wealth is a completely different funnel. It's a completely different stage, but it's not. There's this pole, and the pole is the frequency. And so you could have a pole of prosperity, and at the top of the pole is your prosperity. At the bottom of the pole is poverty. And I say to people, if you just quickly imagine you're moving a lever, or, or maybe in a recording studio, you're moving something. If you say to yourself, where am I in prosperity consciousness, not with how much money you got right now, but in prosperity consciousness, because if you've got prosperity consciousness, you can always make money, attract it, and not even think about it, just being creative and doing wonderful things and not being fearful. And if you do that, and you'll know where you stop at, you will just, your consciousness is brilliant. It'll be like, oh my God, I'm only at 3 and it's 10 steps. And so then what you can do is go, okay, I'm going to go, I'm going to climb up to the top of the prosperity pole. That's where I'm going to live. And when you do that visual, it's amazing how much people have done that over the years when I've been teaching this, and they say it really works. Like this one lady who's a student, her and her husband have got a dental office, and she said it's really, really challenging at the end of the year because it's Christmas and everything to get all the patients to pay their bills. And there were a lot of people. So I've always got to call them and send them letters. And she said, after doing that, the next day, she said, 80% of the people who owed us money paid their bills.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So
The
it's
law of
interesting.
polarity with positive action. You talk a lot about positive action as well.
Yeah, because if you don't take action, I know some people think, oh, okay, that means I've just got to listen to the music and then it'll just all come to me. No, you've got to take action. Even if you don't know what to do next, you've got to do something. So be creative, do something that's fun, start exercising. Like Bob Proctor used to call it the terror barrier. If you can jump over that terror barrier, you are in the creative plane of life. So do something creative. Declutter your house. It will declutter your mind. Make your environment as zen as you possibly can and clean as you possibly can. Never have dishes in the sink. Always make your bed, because this changes your consciousness, your focus. So even if you don't know what to do, do something. Because taking that action, because when you clean, if you walk into your home and everything's pristine, you feel good.
Yes.
You just feel good. And if you've got clothes lying on your bed and nothing's put away, it'll make you lethargic. It's really interesting. And I was noticing with people, one lady was saying, how do I get to wash my dishes every day? And I said, excuse me? You just do it.
Yeah.
I was stunned. I was like, why would people leave dishes in the sink?
I love that, Michele, because I used when I was teaching before, I used the analogy of the closet analogy. And when you go into your closet and it is disorganized, there's crappuccino all over the place, and you've got clothes from a year or 5 or even 12 years ago, that's old energy. It's just blogging and bogging everything down, and it's the reminding you of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and that's not the mindset that you should be in, right? You want to be in the now and have a different frequency, because that's the past.
I say this to people all the time. Have your closet. I mean, Holly came up here once and she said, can I look in your closet? I said, sure. And she went, oh my God, I could live in there.
Yes.
All the reds, the whites, t-shirts.
Yes. Isn't that so satisfying? It is so satisfying.
My little shoes.
Yes, it is.
She said,
okay.
she said, okay, I'm going to be real this time. I thought I cleaned out my closet, but now I see you can color code it. I said, yeah, well, they're my stage clothes. They're my t-shirts. I said, it's easy to do. And it's actually quite fun. You take everything out of your wardrobe, everything. And then you just start throwing things away. And just, always have new energy. It's so
Yeah.
important. And I mean, don't wear, not even around the house, don't wear crinkled, when I see people on Zoom that come on, I say, okay, you're new to me. You didn't iron your shirt.
Oh,
Well,
ouch.
for them, for their own
Yeah.
consciousness,
Yeah.
and then this young man, now when he comes on, he's dressed in a suit and a tie. I said, you didn't have to do that. Just iron it. But I
Yeah.
said, you look good though. I said, I'm rock and roll. I don't care if you got a rock and roll t-shirt on, but just not everything creased and your hair not
Yep.
done. I
Yeah,
said,
and
because
it's a frequency, it's a mindset.
Yep,
And
yep.
what you wear, whatever you're authentically and genuinely comfortable in, just clean it up. Make it, because you feel good. You walk in, do you want to walk in PJs and cut up stuff, or do you want to walk in feeling very sharp and good?
well, if they're silk PJs, maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe so, PJs. That's
Lounging,
true. Lounging, yes. All right, Michele, we've got maybe 3 minutes here. I want to wrap it up. I'm going to give the audience your free grift. I can't even speak at that moment. Free gift. Thank you, Michele. And it's micheleblood.com/clarity. Now, that is a massive gift, you guys. Again, it's micheleblood.com/clarity. And Benny will get that all up on the YouTube channel for you as well. You're going to get an amazing, you got the video book, you got a chapter of the video book, like I talked about, ebook, and a song, the Song for Success. I want to make sure everybody knows how to get a hold of you. Of course, it's www.micheleblood.com. We've talked about consciousness, unconsciousness. We've talked about your beautiful story. Really quickly, I want to say thank you to you because you stepped in the rink and continue to do so. And it's courageous work, right? I mean, it is, and you've stepped in such a manner, and the word personify comes up to me, and it's when I meet people that are actually doing the work, you know what I'm talking about, Michele.
Of course.
When you know what I mean, because there's some that aren't, right? And then that's okay. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but where I'm going with this is I'm deeply thankful and thank you. And there's millions of people out there that are just as thankful for you and your bravery to stand in the rink and to showcase your brilliance. And thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Sue. I love your energy. Absolutely
Thank
love it. It's so awesome when you can just be in synergy. We're in synergy. I love it.
I love it.
Love your show. Love what you're doing. And happy birthday, Benny.
Oh,
thank you very much, Michele.
Yes. So really quick, we've got, I think, Benny, and we've got 2 minutes,
Yes.
minute and a half. What are you thankful for?
Oh, I love this affirmation, guys. If you
Do
can
it.
say every morning, thank you for my beautiful, miraculous, magical, prosperous life. I am tickled pink with good fortune and love and harmony. Thank you for my beautiful, miraculous, magical, prosperous life. Wake up every morning, have a banner in your bedroom where you've got that affirmation. It will change your day. It'll change the way you think. You're being grateful for, and if you think about it, if you're thankful for your thank you for my beautiful life. What does a beautiful life look like to you? Write it down. What does it look like? Well, a beautiful life. I guess my house is beautiful. I feel beautiful. I see beauty. What does a beautiful life look like to you? Well, it's prosperous as well. Of course, you must have money in your life to be able to live a beautiful life. And you don't have to be
It's
super
freedom.
rich.
It's freedom.
It is freedom, guys.
Freedom of choice. Yes.
And you can be a magnet to money. It's not the love of money. It's the love of life that gives you.
Yes, right there. It's
Yeah.
the love of life and lifestyle, and it's freedom. With that, you guys, we are going to head out. Michele, again, thank you so much. Bear with me. I'm going to finish up the show for just a second here. You guys, thank you so much. Of course, go to the podcast world. I want a 10-star review. If we can make that happen, that'd be wonderful. Let us know your comments on YouTube below. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. And until then, each of you are a gift. Get out there and share yourself with the world.
Before you go,
Please, if you want to receive some amazing high vibrational success meditation, tons and tons of free products, go to micheleblood.com/links.